the census is the key to all the things that you have worked for in your life, in the sense that you have paid all your taxes, your federal taxes. And what we're asking for is that to fill out these simple forms, both yourself, your families, your neighbors, your tenants. Because if we don't fill those out, all the things you have paid for over the years, then you lose the services. As a senior, as a citizen, dealing with all types of social services, federal programs, dealing with bridges and roads, all the things that we're entitled to, that you're entitled to as a citizen, we lose out. And so when you start thinking of 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 people not filling out those forms, we don't receive the money that we're entitled to, you're entitled to as citizens or as the city of Chicago. And that's why it's extremely important to think about all the critical programs that affect your life. And so like anything else, when you think about public safety, think about the CTA, you think about education, affordable housing, you think about homeless shelters, you think about community development, job training, public health, school lunches for children, and many, many social services. So like anything else, this is all about having people really understanding how the census is important. Now, everybody fears that if you sign anything, it's not going to be held in confidence. But everybody can guarantee those 10 questions are very simple. They're not asking any personal things that you'll be afraid of. If you don't fill that out, then you're shortchanging your children, your grandchildren, and the children of the community. There's a lot of things that we can talk about. People are homeless, especially today. People who moved out, you don't know where they are. Ex-offenders, re-entry, I like to call them re-entry people, who come back, they're not being counted. And so all of a sudden you start listing children, kids at college. All of a sudden you start adding all these things on, it adds to a lot of people. And so that's why a rally like this, and it's important to get the message out that we're really appealing that it's in your best interest. It's not in Mayor Daley's interest or any elected officials. It's in your best interest to fill the form out. Because if you don't fill it out, then you're shortchanging you and your children and grandchildren and the community. It's simple as that. So all the things you think the federal government should do for you, if we don't fill those out, we are going to be shortchanged. I want to thank Stan Moore and all the co-chairs that have done Alvin Boutte and Mary D. and Claire Munya, who've done a tremendous job. All the subcommittees that we've been working on. This has been a cooperative effort with Stan Moore's operation, with the city of Chicago, elected officials all over the city to make sure that we get a complete count of everyone in the city. We've had education subcommittee dealing with all of the schools, making sure that children are going home to their parents. The disabilities community, we have worked with them to make sure that they're being counted. The ex-offender or reentry people, we've had a subcommittee on that. Very few cities have that because we think everyone has a right to be counted. No one should not be counted. And so a press conference like this is enormous. We work with the religious organizations all over the city to make sure they get the word out. Because if you don't fill this form out, you're saying to everybody in the federal government that you have paid your taxes, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Fine. And I don't fill it out, I don't going to receive any social services, or I'm going to deny somebody else receiving those social services. And there's a lot of things that people need in this economy. This economy is tougher, and it's going to get tougher. So if we don't fill those forms out, just think what you're doing to your neighbor or your son or daughter. It's simple as that. And I just want to thank all those who have worked hard on it. I want to thank the co-chairs, all the aldermen, elected officials that have really worked their communities and organizations in order to have everyone just fill out the 10 simple questions. Thank you very much.